So in this video, we're going to go through the steps to answer questions for assignment 2. First step is here in Blackboard to click on the assignment 2 link and go ahead and download that data. If you actually click on the assignment 2 folder here, it's just gonna open it up and show you the files within it. We don't want to do that, so we want to just download it from this particular location, and so it should throw that into a zipped folder. Most likely going to go to your downloads folder, may go to your desktop. I have mine set to go to my desktop. So we'll click over and look at that. And in this situation, it's going to show up something like this. So we're going to right click on that, point to extract all, and then that will extract the folder from a compressed folder and turn it into this open folder. So within there is a shape file. And that shape file is hazards on the campus that were collected in 2019. And there's also another file in there called an MXD file, which is an ArcMap document from ArcDesktop. So there's some nice things about that particular file, but some things that we're going to have to fix. So we're going to start here with just no template. And when we start with no template, from now on, essentially, we'll be starting with a map or a project of some sort. But we're going to import our map. And we're going to navigate to that assignment 2 folder. And within that assignment 2 folder is this MXD file. So we're going to select that and hit OK. Now, this MXD file is going to have a few problems that we're going to correct. One of them being that it has a source error. But it has some nice stuff already done. Basically, the map has been created for us in the template that we are required to create it in, and it has all of the elements that we would want. We just need to populate it with the data. So down here under this, in the contents pane here, we're looking at this layer map frame. And you'll notice in here we have one feature class, which is a shapefile called MHCC Physical Campus Hazards. And it's symbolized by a single symbol, but there's a red exclamation mark here, which is our data source. So we're going to right click on that layer and we're going to point down to properties. And then we're going to select the source link and we're going to change this. So basically the data cannot be found via this MXD file. So we're going to correct that by setting our data source. And we're going to point back, we're going to put the software pointed in the direction of assignment 2 folder. So I'm back here on my desktop, assignment 2, and then there's just one shapefile in there. So select that shapefile, hit OK, and then we're going to hit OK again. And then that should populate our data on our map. A couple of things that we're going to need to do in here. One is we're going to need to activate our data frame in order to put in a base map. And also we're going to want to change the symbology. So let's do that first and then we'll activate it. So to change the symbology from just a single symbol to unique values, we're going to right click on the layer again, point up to symbology, and then I'm going to move myself here a little bit. And we're going to change this from single symbol to unique values. And then we're going to change in our attribute table, we wanted to symbolize it by physical hazards on the campus. And so that's going to populate with all of those individual physical hazards. There's a tremendous amount of them, so we're going to change that to maybe a slightly different color variation. You can kind of pick whatever you want at this particular point. Sometimes it's not necessary to symbolize it by all other values, but we're gonna take that for now. And so now it should show up over here in our contents pane with all of the individual hazards that were physical hazards, and it corrects that in our map pane. So that's pretty darn nice. What I do like about that symbology tab then is we can pin it over here on the side. So if you need to use it in the future, it's just stored here. In order to insert a base map, we're going to activate this. So back under the layout tab, we're going to select activate. And then that will allow us to put in some base map, whichever you prefer. A lot of times I just like the imagery one. So I'll just stick with that today. Might take a moment here as my internet loads the imagery. But we see that we're on the campus. Sometimes imagery isn't great with the size of those symbols, so you can go through the process of changing that. For this particular map, not that big of a deal for you to do that. The other thing you'll need to do is go back to the layout. So we'll just go back to our layout because you're going to need to actually correct your name and so forth in here. So you're going to want to select those elements and change those. If there's anything down here you want to adjust, you can do that at this point. But you're pretty much at this point done and you're ready to share this. So I can share it. And one thing I'm going to do is I can export this layout as a PDF. So this is what you're going to turn in to me in Blackboard. So just name this some file name that you can relocate, and then where it's going to go, the location that this goes. Just make a note of that, so that you can actually find it. Go ahead and hit save, and then go ahead and hit export. And then you'll navigate to that PDF file and upload that to our Blackboard page. If you wanted to share it as a map file, which we'll do in the future, we'll actually be able to do that with the share tab as well and create a project. But at this point, all I'm looking for is this PDF file. So hopefully that helps. And if you have any questions, be sure to stop by again, office hours.